Today we're going to make a guitar painting based off the art of Pablo Picasso. Now, when we paint our guitar today, we're going to be using tints, which is when you add white to a color to make it get lighter. We're going to be using shades, which is when you add black to a color to make it get darker. But we're not going to be using any tones. So you have to make sure that you don't mix any black and white together today to get any gray. We're not going to be having the neutral grays in our project. So the first thing we have to do is draw a guitar shape on our paper. Now when we draw a guitar, we're only going to be drawing the body of the guitar, which means that we don't need to draw the neck. And I usually think that the body of a guitar looks sort of like a peanut shape, is sort of what I think about when I draw it. And the good news is that since Picasso was an abstract artist, if your peanut guitar shape isn't perfect, that's totally fine, because abstract art doesn't always look exactly like real life. We're also going to draw the sound hole and any other shapes that you want to add to your guitar are fine. Sometimes people like to decorate a little bit, or sometimes people just like to leave it plain. Now after we start, when you've drawn a guitar shape that you like, it's time to start painting. We're going to be painting the body of the guitar using tints, and the sound hole is going to be with shades. That's because the sound hole is inside the guitar, so we want it to look dark and shadowy. So I'm going to start with the sound hole first. So I'm just going to choose my color and paint it in. And then I'm going to be adding a little tiny bit of black to it. I know that whenever I make a shade, a little bit of black goes a long way. So I'm going to be really sure to only get a tiny amount. So let's wipe off our brush, clean it, and get a tiny bit of black. And now I can blend that black color to create my shade. And that little tiny amount was all I needed. It looks nice and shadowy already. Now I'm going to clean that brush off really, really well because I don't want any black to get into the tints that I'm going to be making on the outside. So this time I'm going to be starting with some white. I don't have to paint the whole guitar at once. I think I'm just going to be starting up in this area to begin. And then clean my brush, get a little bit of color, and mix it in. Now I don't have to have all of my tints look the same. Sometimes you might want your tints to be really, really light, and sometimes not so light. So maybe in some areas I can add extra white to really lighten up the color. And I'm just going to keep on going, filling in my guitar until I'm happy with my picture. I can add lines for decoration, I can add shapes, I can add patterns. I can really be creative with the different shapes that I put on my guitar as long as I'm using tints to make those shapes. As I'm painting, if I'm having a little bit of a hard time getting my colors to blend together, it might be because my paint is already too dry. So if that happens to you, you can add a little bit of water, just a little tiny dip back onto your paper, and that will help your colors mix just a little bit better. When you have painted in all of the white paper of your guitar with tints and shades, and you've added decorations so that you're happy with your picture, then your project is complete for the day.